What's up, guys? Welcome back to Whetto's World. It's your boy Whetto, and we got a lot going on this episode. So first and foremost, we got to shout out to the sponsors. So thank you, Canes, for hooking us up with some chicken today. Hey, what combo you picking? So we got a lot to go through on this episode. I'm here with my guest, Miss Alondra. She's going to teach you guys on a whole bunch of financial fitness. She's a little guru in her own little world. And then also, of course, what's going on here at the shop, 1770 South Tell Shore. Come see me at the Industry. But just like always, we're going to hit you with a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to dig right into it. Alright guys, welcome back to Whetto's World. So let's dive right into it. Miss Alondra, who are you and what do you represent?
Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Alondra Puentes. I am a successful financial business owner here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And that's a really interesting question. No one has ever asked me that before. And when I thought about it, what do I represent? Well, really, I'm here to represent the power of choice. You know, it's awesome that we have a choice every single day when we wake up to be successful or to be the same. Today, I just wanted to come on here, you know, for those of you who had a vision at some point in your life, I want to kind of, this is the saying, light that fire in your ass.
That's right, that's right.
That's what we're here to do today. So yeah, like I said, to tell you guys a little bit about myself, I'm a financial business owner here in Las Cruces, and I've lived here my whole life. I graduated from Las Cruces High School.
Hey.
Yeah, go dogs. And back in 2017, this was when I was introduced to the financial industry. So at the time, I was a freshman in college, and really the only reason why I was in college was because I remember my whole high school career, I wanted to go to the military so bad.
Okay.
Like I was like, I'm going to the Marines. I'm gonna be that boss, like fit chick that I want to be a badass.
Hoorah!
Yes, and so I tried out for the Marines. They ended up denying me.
Ooh.
They were like, no, there's no way you can get into the military because I had tattoos that didn't allow me to get into the military. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
So after graduating early from high school and having the military tell me, no, we're not going to take you in, my mom, you know, very traditional Mexican family, she was like, okay, well, what you can do is you can go to school, work, get a degree, and retire at 65. Oh. You know, which is usually what most people in America, this is like the norm, you know? Our parents tell us, go to school, get a career, you know, get paid your W-2 paycheck, you know. But I did what my mom did out of respect for her, and at the time I was going to school for business administration. Okay. I always knew that I wanted to own a business of some sort. Now, back in 2017, I had no absolute clarity in regards to what kind of business I wanted. Like, I was thinking apparel, I was thinking music, Mariah Carey, no, I'm just kidding. Maybe not Mariah Carey, but you know, I considered music. My mind was just all over the place.
Yeah.
But then one day I was introduced to the financial industry, and let me tell you, when I was introduced into the financial industry, it completely changed my life. Like, I'm not even just saying that to you. After maybe like a week of doing my research in the financial industry and going to local financial literacy workshops, which is what they call them, here in El Paso for 1 week straight, I made the impulsive decision to drop out of college. Why? Because what I learned during the time span of a week was that within the financial service businesses, they really show you how to go, how to make a business for yourself, how to structure it from every little corner, every little area. Where in school, it was more like I was going to school to learn how to go work for somebody else.
That's very correct.
How to go work
America.
for a corporate business. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I wanted to work towards making my dream come true rather than work for someone else's dream to come true.
Right.
So, in the time span of over 2 years, maybe 2 years and a half, it's going on to 3 years now, I introduced myself into what is called World Financial Group. So this is basically, this is financial services for you, you know. I was introduced by my business partner, Marco Ramirez. He's a very successful accountant here in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Shout out Marco.
Yes, Tax Out Movement. You guys can follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is Tax Out Movement Marco Ramirez. And, you know, he introduced me into the financial industry, and this was when I really learned that the whole, I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but there's a saying that it says the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Correct.
So thanks to Marcos, I was placed in a position where I was learning in depth why the rich get richer and the poor get poor.
So is that like the formulas of what they're doing, how they move strategically?
So, the crazy thing is that at the end of the day, it all comes back to education.
Correct.
The middle class working America, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck because of a lack of education. And I learned this education, I applied this education, and now I can proudly say at 21 years old, I don't have any sort of debt.
Ooh.
I don't have any debt. I have a diversified financial portfolio.
So big word, you better get your pad and pen, kids, you're gonna learn today.
And it's just amazing because with the business that it took us over 2.5 years to structure between Marcos and myself, we really have a system where we want our people, whether it's people we're bringing into the system or what we're doing for the community through our system, we're changing people's lives for the better.
In a good way too. Sounds like giving them like an education for their money and not just how to earn it.
Yeah, so like I said, I was learning this stuff, and once I started applying what I learned and I saw that it changed my life, I decided, you know what, I have the opportunity to make a business out of this, so let's take it and let's run with it. It's crazy. Between 2017 and now, like, I completely did a whole 360.
Okay.
Before I was your typical Cruces girl. We were all partying, we were all just tailgating, living the life. But at the end of the day, one of the things that I've learned throughout this process, throughout this time, is that things are not going to happen if you don't want them to happen, first and foremost. But you can want it to happen all you want. If you're not going to go and take forward that action, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, you definitely got to initiate what you want. Nobody's just going to hand anything over to you. So anybody paying attention to this, you got to, if you see something, go get it. Don't hesitate, don't wait. There ain't nobody waiting on it. So that's really cool that, you're giving people an opportunity to learn this type of stuff. So is that you, in a sense, trying to help them learn to build generational wealth?
Exactly. We basically want to help people create an empire. When we have what we call our business presentation meetings, we host these every Tuesday and every Saturday for the community. And it's basically us going out there and giving out free financial education. We're talking about the power of compound interest. We're talking about the different types of growth strategies that you have with financial institutions when investing your money. And these are things that they're out there for us to know, but unfortunately this is the biggest problem, and this is what our firm is here to fix. The biggest problem is that within the financial industry, it's been around since the beginning of time. But here's the thing, the first major problem is a lack of education. Though the financial industry has been around for forever, when they sit down with their clients, they're not educating them, they're doing everything for them.
So they don't really tell them how they're going to move it, they're just kind of, give me the money and let them do it?
Exactly. And the second major problem is the lack of distribution. Though there is financial advisors, for those of you guys that are watching, I want you guys now, after you watch this video, to look around when you're driving. There's almost on every corner of every street an Edward Jones or a Merrill Lynch. These are financial advisors. These are an option that you have when going to look for a financial institution. But you see, these people, they're never going to sit down with you unless you make at least $100,000 a year
you gotta have a
into the household
tax
income.
Bracket.
If you don't make that bracket, they're not going to help you, and you're never going to hear from these people. But what we're here to do is we're here to take that same education, the resources, the information that's catered to the wealthy few, and we now want to give it to those who have been left out by the financial industry.
Oh yeah, that's dope. So definitely helping people our age group, people below us, above us. If you weren't paying attention in class, this type of stuff that they help, present you guys with the information, the knowledge, and the actual path to take to earn this type of stuff is definitely something that's most of us need to pay attention more to. A lot of us, I think, we're too caught up in, oh, this brand is so expensive, let me buy that, or let me just go buy a car without thinking about the down payment, your interest, putting money into the principal, stuff like that. Or what you're doing with, different type of corporations. If you're trying to start one, an LLC, a partnership. There's so many different things that I know in my classes they don't really tell you about. So
Yeah.
it's really cool and awesome to see that you guys are actually trying to help build something that is more than just a couple dollars in your pocket. So
Yeah. And just to get to take off of that, the beautiful thing about what I do and why I love what I do so much is because I'm able to create a living. I'm able to create generational wealth and be the change in my family while going out and doing the same thing for other people.
hell yeah.
The beautiful thing about what we do is that we have the power of choice. And this means that whether you're 15-year-olds in the state of New Mexico, legally you're able to do any sort of investment at the age of 15. That alone is a blessing in itself. So many people don't know about this.
No.
So many people don't know that at such a young age. You see, this is a little more in depth, a little bit more advanced, but there are options out there for parents, first-time parents, whether you have a whole mob, whether you have one little one. It's so important to know how you can get resources off of your child, financial resources.
Yeah.
One of the things that I learned when I joined the financial industry is that how the rich get richer is they use the life of their children to fund a tax-free bank account, because you're able to get it at such a low rate, being that when it comes to certain things, to having your money invested in index portfolios, they take into consideration your health and your age, what kind of occupation you have. But now when you have a child, you're almost automatically going to qualify for these kind of benefits.
There you go.
Where you can create generational wealth. You see, one of the things that we teach people in our firm is the wealth formula.
Okay.
Right? And within the wealth formula, one of the very important factors of it is time. Why? Because within the wealth formula, time can work as a positive, but time can also work as a negative. So for those of you who are millennials and you're watching this right now, if you want to learn how to create generational wealth, right now is the time. There's so many people who are going through financial burdens because of everything going on with the economy, with COVID-19.
Right.
But what we're here to do is we're here to teach people how to create a financial portfolio, basically like a financial foundation where regardless of what goes on in the world, that your family and the generations to come from your family are financially secured.
Yes, we need more people like this. You guys have got to pay attention to this type of stuff. Assets over liabilities will save your ass more often than not.
Yeah.
But you got to know what is an asset and what isn't a liability. Just because you want to go get faded every weekend, you want to buy a bottle, you could easily put that back into your index fund.
Oh, yeah.
You could, invest into your own stuff, create the LLC. It's going to bring continuous tax breaks off of you. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to bring in more money that you may not be able to touch right now, but no, like she touched on earlier, compound interest is, I believe Albert Einstein said, it's like the eighth wonder of the world.
Yep.
So, you guys have got to pay attention to this type of stuff right now. This is probably one of the most influential and educational lessons we've had on the podcast. So I definitely want to say thank you for this, sitting down here and talking to us. And believe it or not, folks, there is so much more we're about to dive into. We're going to go ahead and hit you guys with a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and see what we can do for you guys. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back, man. So we have tons of information for you. Well, not so much we, but Miss Alondra here. So now you haven't really, you spoke on it briefly. I'm talking about the compound interest effect, what you're gonna do with your money, how you can help your money grow. Is there a certain market that you guys actually kind of aim this towards?
Yeah. So basically, in essence, we're reaching out to the community as a whole.
Okay.
Because of the fact that all of this information is catered to the wealthy few. We want to make sure that those who are left behind by the financial industry, your everyday working people, middle class America, we want them to know about these financial concepts. But I will say that if there's a certain market that benefits the most from what we do, we call it the macho market.
Write that down.
Now, if you are married, you're age 25 and over, you have children, you're a homeowner, and you have an occupation, and you apply what we're here to teach, you're going to take your family's financial future and do a complete 360. We're here to teach people how to have financial stability. And the awesome thing about it, if I go back, you know, we're saying we're here to serve everybody. Because at the end of the day, you know, what we do is so diversified. We are brokers, so we have over 240 investment and insurance companies that we can represent. Now, these are not just any insurance companies. These are the biggest and the baddest insurance companies, investment companies, debt consolidation companies in the game.
Yeah, so you guys are pretty well rounded then.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it is that you can be a millennial like us. You can be an 18-year-old who wants to plan for the future, and we can help you. Now, you could be macho market, you know, a family that's living paycheck to paycheck and you're tired of it. We can help you. Now, let's say you're getting close to retirement age. Now you're starting to think, okay, what am I going to do for retirement? I need long-term care. Who's going to take care of me? We got you.
There you go.
You know, so that's the beautiful thing about it, is that regardless of who you are, we have all these resources sitting on our shelf, and we're able to shop around and make sure that what we have to provide best fits the need of our client.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's a good point, because just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you, and that's not going to work for somebody else. So just like all of us have different choices in our life, there's also obviously different choices to help increase your wealth and keep it going long term. That's definitely a huge asset that I think a lot of us, especially stuck at home right now, not really doing anything, just kind of hoping that you're going to get that Corona check or whatever the case may be. If you're not using it wisely, you're just going to blow through it, and then you're just going to be stuck on needing help from the government without, having a way to, turn around your own type of stuff, and then you're stuck, and you have no way, or basically you have no freedom. And that's kind of what's going on right now. So you guys got to pay attention, to the bigger picture of things. So that is super dope. Now, how would someone, like myself, 30 years old, you kind of touched on, what would be my best option as far as trying to start something up right now? Is there like an emergency fund kind of thing, or is it?
So literally we have everything. Now, for me personally, what I emphasize the most importance of is knowing and having proper education on having proper protection.
Okay.
I don't know if many people know this, but you literally could have something in place for yourself where, in the event that, God forbid, something happens to you, in the event that it's either a death, a disability, you lose your job, whatever the case may be, if you come across a loss, you want to have something in place to replace your income, But now, the beautiful thing about it is that with us, you can have something in place to replace your income and allow that money to work for you.
There you go.
At the end of the day, when people ask me, well, what is financial freedom to you? To me, financial freedom is having more money coming in than money getting out without you having to work for it.
That's right. Nipsey talks about that, all money in, no money out.
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you've ever heard of Warren Buffett.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Warren Buffett has 2 rules. Do you know what those rules are?
I know you don't get rich quick. I don't know if that's necessarily a rule, and that's pretty much all I got on him.
Warren Buffett's number 1 rule is never lose money.
Okay.
His second rule is don't forget about rule number 1.
Easy enough. Can't forget those then, right?
Yeah, but you see, being that we're left out by the financial industry, being that we are meant to have a lack of education, we hear things like that and we're just like, oh, yeah, easy for you to say, right? But they're really letting you know there are options. You can create generational wealth.
Yes.
You can have money work for you. You can, one time somebody asked me, what is it that you do? And they thought it was funny because my response to that was, we finesse the finessers.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, you're only going to get played if you let yourself get played.
And don't get played.
Yeah. And when you don't want to get played, well, then you educate yourself and you take forward action.
So how, in moving in those type of directions without getting played, obviously, some things are going to be, something's going to happen. You're going to hit bumps in the road. You're going to have hiccups. What can someone watching this, what would be your best bet or best advice on, how to avoid the hiccups, or, just kind of, it's not an easy path. It sounds, yes, it does sound pretty simplified, but, there's more to it. So how would you go about trying to avoid mistakes?
So I think, it's inevitable. There's going to be mistakes. But at the end of the day, I think, when you shift your perspective on mistakes and think of them like they were a blessing to help you learn, then you're going to grow from that. And that's something, you know, the cool thing about what I do is that we help people with their finances and their life, but we also help in regards to personal development.
Okay.
You know, at the end of the day, whether you want to go to college, whether you want to go start a business, whether you want to be a professional athlete, whatever the case may be, yeah, go do it, but, you know, no football player is going to go and try out for the NFL without practicing.
Obviously, you
Right.
got to take care of your craft for sure.
No business owner is gonna, well, I mean, some people make the mistake, and that's why so many businesses are suffering right now, because they made a decision, but was it a well-educated decision? Did you put in the practice that it takes? Did you put in the time that it takes?
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, the mistakes are gonna happen, but the mistakes need to happen because then you can look back, you can see your growth, and you could also make a change.
Most definitely. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to what's going on around you, especially in front of you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an easy thing, but thank God there are people like you and your team that do this. So on the show, when it comes to something like that, we always pop a bottle to somebody's success. Now this type of success is definitely bigger than me and you. This is something that, you know, we're kind of touching on it a little lightheartedly. This is a huge rabbit hole that you guys got. You have to start dropping down. Like, you need to know what's going on. But overall, man, I just want to say, you know, thank you foremost, and definitely congratulations on being able to reach out to, you know, people our age that don't know this type of stuff, probably were playing on their phone in class when this type of stuff is going on. So to that, this one is to you and your guys' team. We definitely appreciate you, and we need a lot more like you. So thank you very much, and cheers to you. So yeah, let me definitely get you on something like that.
No, but yeah, you know, one of the things that I always say, and I'm a very, very firm believer in this, you know, regardless of, for example, when you opened this place, it started off with the vision, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When I opened up my financial firm, it started off with the vision. You know, when Michael Jackson created the moonwalk, it started off with the vision.
Hey.
You know, and I just believe that I'm a very firm believer that, you know, God, the way He works is backwards. So He works the end from the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
And if He gave you a vision, He already provided the provision.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, a lot of times we're the only thing in our way. And I'm just here to encourage those of you who once had a dream of opening your own business, who once wanted to go and do the extraordinary and do the most, because right now, you know, we are supposed to be going north when everything else is going south.
Yeah, that's not easy in this time right now. So this type of information, you guys have got to take it serious. This isn't a joke, man. The world's upside down right now, and you know, this type of stuff is what's going to end up saving your ass later down the road. You know, like I'm 30, I'm 35, this type of shit, it's going to double. You know, we're 36, you know, power of compound interest, stuff like that, you know, it's just going to build and build and build. So anybody that's younger than me, this is the type of stuff that you need to pay attention to, so that way you can get on it now and create everything that's going to help you and the people below you. So, you know, to that, cheers. Hell yeah. Congrats.
Thanks. And thank you for having me
Of
on your
course.
channel.
Yeah. That's what this is all about. Do What I Want represents the rebels hell-bent on success, and this is definitely right up that alley, you know what I mean? So without me, I wouldn't have an outlet to be able to let people like you come out and share this type of stuff. So that's super important. Now, most of the time on the show, a good question is always, what does Do What I Want represent to you, or more or less like your hustle? Like, what are you doing? How do you think that works?
The way I think about it is when I made the decision to go into business for myself, it was because I was tired of working for somebody else. I was tired of not having time management, freedom management. I didn't have the freedom to say no if I didn't want to do something. And to me, Do What I Want, it represents working your ass off to build an empire where you really can do what you want.
That's correct. The right to the T.
Yeah. You ain't got to answer to nobody, but you got to build that kind of lifestyle.
The only person you have to answer to is yourself, and if you ain't putting in the work, you ain't gonna get it out. So you can't beat around the bush, and that's about as straightforward as it gets.
Yeah.
So what are you and your firm, what are you guys working on next, or I guess more or less now with everything going on? So what do you got coming up?
So right now, the way that we're working, because of COVID, we did kind of take a little bit of a hit, but nonetheless, we are still operating out of our office. We're located at 530 North Church Street in the heart of downtown.
Hey.
That's where our financial firm is, and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and every Saturday at 12 p.m. we have our corporate overview, where we talk about who we are as a business, exactly what kind of impact we're trying to make in our community. We go over how we help families, we teach some of the concepts. We have those every Tuesday and every Saturday. And actually, as of Friday of last week, we officially opened our office in El Paso, Texas.
Woohoo!
So that's very exciting.
Congratulations to that. I'll definitely drink to that
cheers
one.
to that.
Hell yeah.
So we're officially up and running in UP.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, we have an office coming in Dallas, Texas in 2 weeks. We're going to be flying out to Dallas, and we're going to be signing the lease on an office down there.
Ooh, big moves.
And before the end of the year, we're looking at going to Albuquerque.
Nice.
So we are expanding at a very rapid rate. Not to brag or anything, but we are the first in the whole entire state of New Mexico doing what we're doing.
Fucking right. That's how it should be. Yeah.
If you haven't heard about this before, that's because we're really here to change the game.
Hell yeah.
And I'm really excited. It's been a blessing so far.
That's what's up, man. I definitely applaud you. I know it can't be easy because a lot of us are too busy doing this instead of trying to actually listen, to this type of game. This is free game. Obviously, like she said, all the financial institutes, they're going to charge you for this, and they are not cheap. So, you guys better plug in and pay attention to what she's talking about. Now, I know most of you guys will. You wouldn't watch this if you didn't obviously care about what we got to say. So, that's a huge impact, and thank you so much. I hope anybody watching this, all the high school students, all the NMSU students, El Paso, Albuquerque, anybody, Clovis, wherever you guys are at watching this, plug in, figure out what's going to do you and your family best. Make sure that you are definitely taking the necessary steps. Be cautious. Always do your due diligence and pay attention to what's going on. Assets over liabilities are always going to get you to equity. So that's it's a good deal. With that, let them know where they can reach you at if they have questions or they want to reach out to you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. You guys can find me on Instagram, AP Associations. I'm also on Facebook as AP Associations. We have an Instagram page for our firm, Icon Financial. And I actually have a Icon Financial YouTube page as well, where everything that we talk about, all this financial education, we're going to be putting it on that YouTube channel so that you guys can refer to that.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So, thank you for being here on the show with us. I greatly appreciate all the knowledge, and even just to let y'all know, that was just the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's so much more you guys can dive into and learn for yourself. Just because we're on here talking to you about it, we know about it, but it's something you guys got to take into your own pride and make sure that you take care of yourself and your family. So. With that, I just want to tell you guys, to save you some money, we got a deal going on here at the industry, saving you 30% with back to school discount codes. So you can shop with that online at DWIW.shop. You can come here and check me out at the shop, that's 1770 South Tell Shore here in Las Cruces. If you guys are an entrepreneur, like Miss Alondra or myself here, let me know, DM me, I'll put you in the hot seat, see what you got going on, try to see if we got more knowledge that we can help spread, so that way everyone else in our circle can, pick up your brain and see what they can learn from it. So with that, guys, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. But that's a wrap here at Whetto's World. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Support your local business owners.
Please do.